the words of my mouth and meditation of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, Lord, for you are our rock and our redeemer. In your name we pray. Amen. The title of this morning's sermon is Circles of Grace. In our society, everything is a commodity. Everything has to have a monetary value. Everything has to have a cost. And usually, the more you pay for something, the more you value it. That could be true. But yes and no. Because my wife made me a blanket a couple of years ago. And she knitted it herself. And I asked for it for Christmas a couple of years ago. I said, I want this color scheme. And she sat and she knitted the whole thing. And she spent a good 3 or 4 months on it. And it's still with me. That blanket is more valuable than, I believe that blanket is more valuable than if I went to Bed Bath & Beyond and purchased the most expensive silk sheet set. Why? Because my wife made it. Because I care for her, I love her. But she spent the time. Is it made out of silk? No, actually it's made out of acrylic. It's made out of acrylic yarn that she bought from Michael's. And I said, I like that. And there was a $5 ball of yarn. Yes, it was $5. And so the cost of this blanket is, in cost, $5 and a whole lot of hours. Now I could instead go to Bed Bath & Beyond and I could dress my bed in luxury with the sumptuous Valerian Estate Silk Sheet Set. And this sheet set is $599. Yes, I actually went online, I went to Bed Bath & Beyond this morning, and I said, how much does it cost? Let me see if I can find the most expensive pair of sheets, and I found them. And yes, it is like I said, the Valerian Estate Silk Sheets. And for the queen set, that is $599, made out of silk. Now, I would say if I wanted to trade my acrylic blanket for silk, I would say, yeah, that's a good deal. Tara might not like that, though. That I took my Christmas gift and traded it in for a $600. She don't care how long. You know how many hours she spent knitting that blanket? But through the gifts can have different levels of value. That's what I'm trying to get at. And there's a gift that we see in the text for this morning. The gift of resurrection. The gift of resurrection that Jesus gives to the family of Lazarus, Martha, and Mary is a gift that saves a household and creates a circle of grace, a circle of care, a circle of intimacy, which is most important, which is the most valuable thing. This morning's text, again, is at the end of the story where we see Lazarus alive and well and raised from the dead after being dead for 4 days. So meaning he's definitely dead. And this text puts us right at the precipice of Holy Week, right before the time of Passover. And so I would think that if someone raises you from the dead, at least you can do is give them dinner or make them dinner. If somebody raises you from the dead, the least you can do is do a little something, something. And so Martha is serving and Lazarus is chilling at the table with Jesus, and Mary breaks out this big, expensive thing of embalming perfume. Boom. Now let me just give you a couple notes before we go into the perfume piece. Cultural notes. In Greek and Roman times, and still like in North Africa and the Middle East, the way people eat, they would eat by laying down. So you lay down, you're kind of like reclining, I don't want to say like Teddy Pendergrass one, no, like Michael Jackson, the Thriller video. You know, he's laid back and he's like a player. You know, he's laying to the side. I can't really lay on the pulpit, but that's how they would eat. So you eat, you lay on your side, and you eat with your right hand. And so you're laying down, and so the table's on the floor. And so folks are laying around the table. Another piece that you might want to pick up on is women's heads are usually covered back in those days and still now today in terms of all cultures in the Middle East and in North Africa also. You know, have you ever paid attention in terms of veils how a Muslim hijab looks just like a nun's habit? It's because they're all from the same culture. It's all come out of the same place. This basic stuff. And then the final piece that I want to pick on that's a cultural note there is feet. People are freaked out by feet today. Now, today, people don't like smelly feet. Some people don't like nasty toes. Some people talk about the hammer toes. You know, kind of like MC Hammer. You know, got hammer toes. But back in those days, where we're having issues with feet because of the kind of the way they look, because of the I want to say the superficial piece of feet. Back in the day, it's pretty easy. People wore sandals without socks. And so, let's just keep it real for a minute. When you're walking down the street, your feet are covered in dirt. They're covered in lots of nasty things that were around the area. You're walking around in poo and all kinds of, there you go. So, when you come in from the outside in that context, your feet are nasty, legit nasty. We're not talking, oh, your feet stink. No. We're talking legit nasty. Your feet are covered in stuff. So now that we've had that moment about the cultural relevance, about table sharing and head covering and feet, let us return back to John 12. But wait, there's one more thing. I'm sorry about this. It's the Mary thing. Okay. In the Gospels, there are many women named Mary. There's Mary, the mother of Jesus. There's Mary of Magdala. There's Mary, the sister of Lazarus. And let's put this real quick. None of them are prostitutes. Zero. This idea came from a homily given by the 7th century Pope Gregory the Great. And that's what he basically did was what we do in our heads. He combined all of the same stories. So they took Luke, they took Matthew, they took Mark, and they took John, and they took the same story. They threw it together and said, all right, well, this has to be the same person. And let's connect Mary Magdalene, because in Luke, Mary Magdalene is mentioned right afterwards, and she's sinful, and she's saved from her demons. And so in his sermon, he connected all of those things, theologically incorrectly, and that narrative continued in the Western Catholic and Protestant churches. That understanding is even in the Eastern Church. But that's where we got that idea of Mary Magdalene in particular being a prostitute, which is not true. It's not even biblical. But also this reality of these are all separate stories. And the John story, where it's separated from the stories of Matthew, Luke, and Mark anyway. We have to understand that these are different stories, telling the same tale, but they're different, and they're different accounts. So in this account, we're at Lazarus' house, and Mary is the brother of Lazarus, and she is not a person of ill repute. But what is interesting is the reality is just that what happens is that that's just called male patriarchy at its finest, that has seen how we look at the Gospels in the wrong way sometimes. But when I mentioned before the whole head covering thing, yeah, remember women had their head covered. Even if you remember, if you're old enough to remember before Vatican II, that was something that Catholic women had to do, was cover their heads when they went to church. Also, if you go to old Catholic countries, like if you go to Italy, for example, you'll see many older women who are still covering their heads in church, because it's also in the New Testament. And so, but to someone to uncover their head and to wash someone's feet with your hair, it's a little scandalous. It's a little gross. remember, I told you what's on the feet. This isn't him, like I said, these are feet in nature. And so, there's a level of humility and thanksgiving that is there, that's unbelievable. When someone literally takes their hair, takes their fro, and starts rubbing the oil into the man's feet, giving thanks for what he has done. Now, this response is out of the gratitude of her brother's life having it back, because let's not forget that if he goes, they're by themselves. They don't have someone to protect them. They don't have someone that will care for them. They are unprotected in society without Lazarus in all parts of society. So Jesus has restored this family's ability to engage in society on a whole different level. And then, of course, we have the statement of Judas, and Judas talks about the money and the poor and all the other stuff. And the point of it ends up being is that, of course, yes, we have the issue of yes, it could be $300 worth of money to the poor. Let's not forget that her brother just died, so of course she has the stuff here because of her brother, not because of Jesus, even though Jesus does say, "This is for me." So it's not like this came out of anywhere. So part of the reality is that what Judas is doing in Judas' statement is almost it's a non sequitur. It doesn't make a sense, and it's not necessary in the context. But what it does bring us to is the issue of this moment of grace, these moments of gratitude and intimacy. Because to wash someone's feet, to raise them from the dead, these relationships are relationships that are initiated out of grace, initiated out of gifts, and then move into circles of love and care. So where I'm going with this is that in John 1:14, it says that the Word became flesh and lived among us. Which means that Jesus, the Word, the Logos, became human and fully divine. And of course, in that relationship of flesh, that is the most intimate piece there. Because God chooses to become like us. God chooses to have all the same fears, all the same mindsets, all the same things that we have. And he becomes flesh. And so in that becoming of flesh is a gift to us. And so what I would say, we have three gifts here. We have the gift of Jesus and Lazarus. We have the gift of Mary and Jesus. Because Mary responds to Jesus' gift, to her family. But then Jesus moves. And then he takes the same modus operandi that he got from Mary and does it to the disciples later, and washing their feet, and then sharing with us. And that's where it leads us to. It leads us to the issue, the thing of grace. Now, the word grace is eucharos, it's charis, and what it means is, it means gift, it means gratitude, it can mean the giving back of a gift. It is what we do in all we do. And the word for communion is Eucharist, which is the good gift, or gift of thanksgiving. And so what's interesting is that if you read, and what's interesting is that, like I said, most of our understanding of the Eucharist, most of our understanding of communion does not come from the Bible. It comes actually from a document called the Didache, which came out in the 1st century. But in that document, it talks about the Eucharist, the same word 4,000 or 5,000 times. It literally said 10 times in one paragraph, actually. And it continues to be used in different senses. And what am I saying? Oh yeah, so it's saying, you shall give thanksgiving for the thanksgiving. And when you give thanksgiving for the thanksgiving, and the thanksgiving, and the thanksgiving. And literally, you'll see these, it just keeps on saying thanksgiving, 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 or good gift. In communion, in this gift, we are recipients of grace. We are recipients of God's grace for us. And in that Eucharist gift, that gift of communion, or of coming together in one, we create another circle of grace. We create a circle of intimacy, a circle of love. And the reality of it is, the questions of being is, when we start talking about communion, we talk about all these different things. It's not a one-on-one thing. It's a group thing. It's a shared thing. And the whole point behind this is about trying to get to that intimate one-on-one status, that one-on-one shared love with your neighbor. The communion is the idea, the whole point of the communion is the idea that God shared something with us in his body and his blood for us. And in him giving that gift, we then are been called and pushed to give to others. So we are receiving a gift and giving a gift at the same time. And we are continually blessed. So I leave you this morning with a question. A question that you might want to take with you while we're in service the rest of the service. A question that you might want to ask yourself at home. The questions that you might want to ask yourself when you take communion today. Where are the circles of holy intimacy that you have with the people you worship with? Where is the level of intimacy in the idea of being church together? In sharing this holiest meal, the meal that we should do at all times, and actually in the early church days always did it. It was with dinner. That was the whole point. It actually was dinner. That was part of it. They create a new community. It literally was the idea that you might not be able to get food at home, but you can get food at the church. And there was a sharing of not biblical scriptures because nobody could read. It wasn't about how much they loved Jesus because Jesus was coming back. It was about the community in the communion. It was about the intimate, real relationships between each other and God. And how those two things are the same. If you can't love your neighbor, you can't love God.
Amen.
And if you can't love your church member, then you can't love God either.
All right.
If you can't love your pastor, you can't love God. But also, when you do those things to your neighbor that are wrong, we do them to God. When we act wrongly towards the other church members, we are acting wrong to God. And when you meet your pastor, right, maybe too. I didn't do anything to you. I might just change something. But I am your neighbor. We have to be the whole point of church, the whole point of Jesus, the whole point of all of this is that it's not about knowing this book. It's about doing what the book actually says. And that says to love your neighbor as yourself. If you're not acting in love, then you're not doing it right. It doesn't matter how many scriptures you know or don't know. Because the Spirit says that the Spirit shows in the fruits of what we do. So as we come together this Sunday, this day, and we share in this meal, I hope we take this time to make it relevant and intimate. That this is something that we're sharing with our friends, our brothers, our sisters, and we're sharing with God. It's holy and ordinary at the same time. It's beautiful and simple at the same time. It is fragrant. And then also smell. We smell nothing at the same time. It's a both and. Let us create these circles where we see God in the gifts that we share together. Amen?
Amen.